Yo, what's up guys? So today we are gonna see, what if Naruto had legendary bloodline and got harem with Kushina, Tsunade and Mei, part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, J3000, link is in the description, and also subscribe to my channel, and like this video. Let's begin the video. In the land of fire, in the very center lay the Hidden Leaf village, the strongest of all the 5 ninja villages. Under the current leadership of Tsunade Senju, the 5th Hokage, who was not happy after now hearing that Sasuke Uchiha had betrayed them for Orochimaru, and Asuma was in the hospital recovering from a trench knife to his stomach caused by his former student Shikamaru. Naruto-kun, where the hell are you? Tsunade said. The gate. The 2 immortal Chunin was sitting there watching the gate. Their names were Kotetsu Hagane and Izumo Kamizuki. They were called the Gate Shinobi, because they seemed to always be on gate duty. Footsteps approached the gate, getting both Chunin's attention, and they looked up just in time to see 4 people pass through the gates, and into the village 3 women, and a man. Hey, is that who I think it is? Kotetsu asked with a grin coming to his face. One of the women has long length black hair that reaches her bottom, and long luscious legs. She is wearing a long black kimono with red trimmings, held closed by a white obi, and open-toed sandals with low heels, and a large sword strapped to her back, though mostly wrapped in bandages. It is comprised from a series of downward-facing scales, running along the entirety of its length until its hilt, at the base of which is a small skull. The other woman had green eyes, and shoulder-length auburn hair styled into a herringbone pattern at the back, a top knot tied with a dark blue band, and with 4 bangs at the front. 2 bangs are short, with one covering her left eye, and 2 are long, crossing each other on her chest, just below her chin. She wore a storm outfit, without her mask, and had a small thundercloud with water droplets falling on her shoulder, and the 3rd woman, another redhead, looked the same, and the man. Izumo nodded. Yep, no doubt about it. He also had a wide grin on his face, and a nosebleed. Kushina, Shizune, Mei, and Naruto had finally returned to the Leaf Village. It's been 2 years since I've seen this place, Shizune said softly. Yeah, it seems like we only left yesterday, Kushina said. I wonder if any changes, Naruto said, as they walked by a light pole before Naruto jumped to the top roof. It seems like they added Tsu-chan beautiful face to the Hokage hail Naruto, as he continued to look at her. Damn, I miss all of them. Are you guys at Tsu-chan office? Naruto said before he ran off. You're on, they all shouted before they vanished in a flash of red. Hokage Tower. They arrived to see Naruto making out with the Tsunami. Cough. Kushina. What took you so long? Naruto asked, as he pulled his lips away from the Tsunami. You cheated, Mei said. Yeah, you know that I cannot take us directly into the Hokage's tower, Shizune shouted. It's not my fault that Tsu-chan took down the seals, Naruto replied, as he got up, and they entered the Tsunade office to see her destroying her desk. How did you let Sasuke escape to Orochimaru? Tsunade shouted. We were surrounded by Oda, and Jiraiya replied. Tsu-chan, what is going on? Naruto asked, as a smile appeared on Tsunade's face, as she ran over to hug Naruto and his group. Welcome back, how was your trip? Tsunade asked. It was good, but we will tell you later. Now what is this about Sasuke going to Orochimaru? Naruto replied. You 2 idiots, tell me what happened, Tsunade shouted. We had 5 miles away from Fire Country when. Flashback 5 days ago. We are almost there, Suma said when Kunes came raining down on them, forcing them to dodge. Show yourselves, Sasuke shouted. Sasuke-kun, it is nice to see you again, the Snake Man replied. Orochimaru, Jiraiya shouted. Jiraiya-kun, it nice to see you again, Orochimaru replied. What do you want? Jiraiya asked. Sasuke-kun, of course, Orochimaru replied, as he licks his lips. I'm take on Orochimaru, and you guys take his so-called army, Jiraiya said with a chuckle. It's a shame no real nin are in there, Asuma said when somebody appeared out of his shadow. Asuma screams out in pain. What is going on? Kakashi shouted, as he turned around to see Asuma with a trench knife through his stomach, and his attacker behind him. Shikamaru, Sasuke shouted Rasengan, as Shikamaru vanished back into the shadow, and appeared out of Orochimaru. Shikamaru, Sasuke shouted, as he charged at him. Wait, Sasuke, Kakashi shouted, as he jumped after him when he heard. Crystal release. Tearing crystal, falling dragon, forcing him to dodge. The crystal fighter, Kakashi spat out. Copycat, Kakashi Gurin said, as she saw him lifting up his handband reveling his Sharingan. Lighting edge, Kakashi shouted, as he appeared behind her, and pushed it through her back only to see her turn into crystal. Shun. Unfolding flower crystal labyrinth jutsu, as red crystal shoots up from the ground, capturing Kakashi and the surrounding area. Kakashi, Jiraiya shouted, as he destroyed several shinobi, and ran towards the dome. Hidden snake hands, Orochimaru shouted, as Jiraiya dodged it. You fight is with me. With Sasuke. Sasuke, Shikamaru shouted, as he withdrew his sword. Shikamaru, Sasuke shouted, as he pulled out his trench knife, as they clashed. Why did you betray us? Sasuke asked. For power to kill Naruto, of course, Shikamaru replied, as he swung his sword at Sasuke's head. He had to duck, and backflip out of the way. With Kakashi. What the hell is this dome? My Sharingan cannot see through, Kakashi. You can't escape, Copycat Gurren said, as she appeared behind him. Kakashi shouted, as he tried to get away from her. Crystal sentence, Gurren said, as the sentence came at Kakashi, who dodged some of them before. Kakashi screamed out, as the sentence caught him in his legs. Copycat, I thought you were stronger than that, Gurren said, as she walked towards him, as a crystal spear formed on her hands. Why would you work for a guy like Orochimaru when you could join the Leaf and be my wife, replied with his lady killer eye smile, as Gurren's sweat dropped. Does he think I'm falling for that, Gurren, and who told you I'm working for Orochimaru? You're not my type, I only date guys that are stronger than me, Gurren replied. Then I will see you tomorrow for our date, Kakashi said from behind her Chidori, as he pushed the attack through her shoulder. How? Gurren asked. Shadow Clone, Kakashi replied. Now where should we go for our date? How about nowhere, Gurren replied, as she turned into a crystal clone and shattered into pieces. Then suddenly a crystal dagger pierced his shoulder. Damn bitch, Kakashi said, as he pulled the crystal dagger from his shoulder. With Jiraiya. The Sengen Jiraiya shouted, as he destroyed the ground where Orochimaru used to be. Multiple snake hands, Orochimaru said, as the snake attacked Jiraiya. He crouched down into a ball, and his hair began to grow around him, and turn into countless numbers of sharp needles that appeared, and shredded the snakes. Needle Jizz, Jiraiya said. Fire release Fire Dragon Jutsu, Orochimaru said, as the dragon attacked Jiraiya, who dodged it, and slammed his hands into the ground. Earth release. Swamp of the Underworld, Jiraiya shouted, as Orochimaru started to sink. Kukuku, you will never beat me, Jiraiya-kun, Orochimaru said, as he turned into mud. With Sasuke. Chidori, Sasuke shouted, as he attacked Shikamaru, who vanished into his own shadow. Where his Sharingan cannot find Sasuke, as Shikamaru comes out of Sasuke's shadow, and kicks to the back of the head, sends Sasuke flying into the trees. You have gotten stronger, Sasuke said, as he wiped the blood from his lips, but so have I, as he activates his Magicum Sharingan. It seems like you have achieved the Sharingan second level, Shikamaru said with a smile on his face. Yeah, now I'm stronger, I will kill Itachi, Sasuke replied with a smirk on his face. How did you achieve it? Shikamaru asked, as he started to sink into his shadow. Let's just say I had to kill a friend, as he waited for Shikamaru to reappear. With Kakashi. Kakashi was covered in crystal sendons all over his body. You will never escape my dome, copycat, Gurren said, as she looked at Kakashi, who was breathing hard. The only person to escape my dome was the supernova Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun, that team, why do all the girls I like want him instead of me, Kakashi growled, as he started picturing all the girls he liked: Mikoto, Yoshino, Kushina, Hitmoe, Shizune, Rin, Yuhao, Kurenai, and now Gurren. By the way, do you know where he is? Gurren asked, as Kakashi growled even louder. I heard his dick is as big as my arm, are the rumors true? But Kakashi had heard enough, as his eye turned into a Magicum Sharingan. I heard he took away some of Johnny's girl, the idiot forgot her birthday, Gurren said. Then I heard he made the same guy burn his entire porn collector, and caught it on tape, as she started to laugh, as Kakashi rage took over. Kami, Kakashi shouted, as the attack hit Gurren, as she screamed out in pain. Then Kakashi passed out. With Jiraiya. Haha, it seems like your lackey is dead, Jiraiya said, as he heard her screams. Kukuku, fool, she is not dead. If she was, then the crystal dome would have shattered already, Orochimaru replied. Then they saw that Sasuke was about to kill Shikamaru with the Rasengan from behind. It seems like my apprentice is about to kill yours, Jiraiya said with a smile on his face. If only you knew, Orochimaru replied. What are you talking about? Jiraiya asked when he saw it. Sasuke was about to finish off Shikamaru when he stopped and hugged Shikamaru, and then they both started to laugh with each other. What's going on here, Sasuke? Jiraiya shouted. Ha ha ha, foolish sensei, I have got all I need from you, and the leaf already, so now I am going to Orochimaru for more, Sasuke replied with an evil smirk on her face. I thought you were different from all the Uchiha, I thought you were the chosen one, Jiraiya said. You thought wrong, all I want is power, and with Orochimaru I will get more, Sasuke shouted. No, I won't let you, Jiraiya said when something stopped him. You're not going anywhere, Shikamaru said from the Jiraiya shadow behind him. Shadow possession successful. Sensei, you are a fool for thinking that I'm the chosen one, Sasuke replied. Kukuku, as much as I want to kill you, Jiraiya, I won't, because I want your student to kill you, Orochimaru said. Then he sensed a group of samurai coming. Let's get out of here, some samurai are coming. The crystal shattered, and Gurren walked out with a bloody Kakashi over her shoulder, and threw him at Jiraiya, who caught him. Wow, got to love crystal clone Gurren. Let's go, Orochimaru said, as they vanished. Flashback end. I knew that would have happened sooner or later, Naruto said, as everybody looked at him, and nodded their heads in agreement. How dare you say that, you brat, Jiraiya shouted, but Naruto didn't answer him. He just walked past Jiraiya, and sat down in Tsunade's seat, as a tick mark appeared on Jiraiya's forehead. Answer me, brat, Jiraiya shouted, as he grabbed Naruto by his shirt. Let me go or else, Naruto said. Jiraiya, let Naruto go this instant, Tsunade shouted, but Jiraiya ignored her. Tsunade, mind your business, I talking to the brat, Jiraiya replied when suddenly Naruto's hands was on Jiraiya's. Crack was heard throughout the room, as Jiraiya screamed out in pain. Jiraiya screamed out, as he was sent flying into the Hokage monument, destroying the fourth Hokage's nose. Jiraiya-sama, Kakashi shouted, as he looked on. How dare you destroy Sensei's statue like that, as he attacked Naruto when 3 swords were at his throat and a lava dragon behind him. Stop, Tsunade shouted, as she glared at them. No fighting comrades in my office. They all replied, but the lava dragon was still behind Kakashi. Might, Tsunade shouted, as the dragon vanished. Kakashi, go, and bring the fool to the hospital, Tsunade said, as Kakashi went to retrieve Jiraiya. Where did you get that sword from, Shizune? Tsunami asked, as he put away her sword. You're the one to talk about where you learned to use the sword, Shizune asked, as they walked out of Tsuan's office. Guys, go home and rest, be here tomorrow, and give me a report of the trip, Tsunade said, as Mei and Kushina vanished. See you tomorrow, Su-chan, Naruto said, as he was walking away. Tsunade grabbed his hand and threw him into her seat. No, you don't. I want your report long and hard right now, Tsunade said with a seductive smile on her face. Then she pulled off his pants and started working it with her hands. Now started from the beginning while I rode my cock, as she got on and rode like the wind. 5 hours later. The Uzumaki compound. Naruto arrives at the compound only to be tackled to the ground by a group of women. I really miss you guys, Naruto said, as the women kissed him all over. The woman got off him and started asking Naruto questions about his trip when he realized 3 of his girls were missing. Where are Anika, Hana, and Mikoto? Naruto asked. Well, Anika and Hana is on a mission. They will be back next month, Hitomi said. Mikoto locked herself into her room and won't let anybody in, Yoshino said with a sad look on her face. Oh, I see, Naruto replied. Naruto-kan, go to her, we can all wait, Kushina said. The Chiha compound. Naruto enters the compound only to hear crying from Mikoto's room. Naruto knocked on the door. Go away, I want to be alone, Mikoto said. It's me, Meko-chan, Naruto replied. Then the door opened and Naruto was dragged inside. Oh, Naruto, why would you leave me? Haven't I been a good mother to him? Mikoto asked, as the tears came down her eyes, as Naruto pulled her into his chest. It's okay, Meko-chan, it's not your fault, Naruto replied, as he rubs her back. You have done all you can, it is his hate for Itachi that caused it. I still should have done more, Mikoto shouted, as the tears continued to flow. Don't ever let me hear you say that again. You did all you can, even the village did the same, and he still left. Naruto replied, as he looked into her eyes, as tears flowed out of his, as he held her closer. Thank you, Naruto-kan, Mikoto replied, as she wiped her tears away. Naruto gets up to leave, but she pulls him back down on the bed. Please don't go, Naruto-kan, Mikoto replied with a pleading look in her eyes. Stay with me for tonight. Okay, I will. Naruto replied, as he lay back down, and Mikoto lay on his chest crying until they both fell asleep. This continued for a week, as Mikoto cried herself to sleep with Naruto there to comfort her. The next morning, Naruto woke up to a pleasurable feeling, as he opened his eyes to see Mikoto with his dick in her mouth, as she was babbling her head up and down. Naruto moaned, as he came into her mouth. Finally, I was doing this for about 30 minutes now, Mikoto replied, as she finished swallowing his cum. What was that for? Naruto asked, as he recovered from his orgasm. To say thank you for what you have done for me, Mikoto replied, as she captured his lips with hers. A week later. Hokage's office. Naruto, I wanted to promote you to Angular Jounin, but the elders won't allow it until you face special Jounin, and an elite Jounin of their choosing, Tsunade said. Who are my opponents? Naruto asked. You won't find out until you arrive at the training ground, Tsunade replied. Okay, let's go, Naruto replied. Follow me then, Tsunade said, as she jumps through the window, and Naruto follows her. Training ground 12. Naruto and Tsunade arrived to see all of his friends, lovers, Shonin Council, and Civilian Council. So the brat decided to show up, Danzo said. Old One Eye, I see you have missed me too, Naruto replied, as Danzo glared at him. Show some respect for your elders, boy, Homura shouted. Who are you again? Naruto replied, as Homura glared at him. Why did Kakashi say he was ready to shout at Naruto when Tsunade cut her off? Shut it, councilman, we are here for a fight, not a shouting contest, Tsunade said. Fine, Kakashi, Sakura come out, Kakashi said. Did I beat this team when I was a genin, Naruto said. That didn't count because you had help, besides I wasn't using my full power, Kakashi replied with a nice smile. Yeah, Sakura shouted. Who are you again? Naruto replied when a huge tick mark appeared on her huge forehead. Cool down, Sakura-chan, he only trying to make you mad, Kakashi said. Seriously, Tsunade-sama, who is she? Naruto said, as she threw a punch at Naruto's head, who dodged, as the punch left a hole in the tree. Tsunade-sama, I never knew you took up an apprentice, Naruto said. I did, but it's not her. Tsunade replied. But someone did, they even taught her how to use my super strength almost perfectly, as she saw Sakura shaking her hands after the punch, then she saw Danzo with a smirk on his face. I should have known. Shit, that hurt, Sakura, as she heals her hand. So that's the power of the Mad Cherry Blossom. I'm not impressed, Naruto said, as he started dodging a fury of punches from an enraged Sakura. Damn girl, I told her to control her anger, Danzo, as he looks on. Jiraiya was shouted from behind Naruto, as Naruto simply moved to the left and dodged it, and a swift kick to Kakashi's stomach as he puffed into smoke. Hey, Tsunade-sama didn't start the match, as yet, Naruto replied. You're a shinobi, there is no start in the ninja world, Danzo said. Sakura got within punching distance and threw a punch at Naruto, who caught it. He caught it and shocked Sakura, then she remembered that Tsunade had taught Naruto. Suddenly she flew back and slammed into a tree. I wonder how she got the name the Mad Cherry Blossom, Naruto taunted. He's a lot stronger than Sakura-chan, Kakashi thought, gazing at Naruto with his Sharingan fire style. Fireball, Kakashi shouted, launching a fireball at Naruto. The fireball hit dead on, and Naruto didn't even try to move, as the fire increased in size and heat. You called it an attack, Naruto said. Water release, water shield, as water protects him. I thought you had gotten stronger than the last time we fought, Naruto said, flashing through hand seals. Nova Ball's jutsu, Naruto said, sucking in a deep breath. He shot out 2 large Nova Ball at Kakashi. Shit, Kakashi cursed, jumping to the side, but he was still too close, and his arm got cooked a little bit. Kakashi-kun, Sakura cried. You really should be focusing on me, Mad Blossom, Naruto said from behind her. Sakura went wide-eyed, as a kick to the back of the head sends her crashing into a few trees. Now where were we, Kakashi, Naruto said, as Kakashi began punching at him as fast as he could. Naruto easily avoided all of his hits by ducking and dodging. Is that all you have? Naruto taunted him, as Naruto slammed his hands into Kakashi's stomach, as Kakashi fell to his knees when Sakura came behind him. Naruto ducked the attacks before grabbing her wrist and slamming her into the ground. Sakura, Kakashi shouted, as Naruto threw her over to Kakashi. Damn it, Kakashi hesitated thought. He jumped back far, and with Sakura before taking off into the forest, he knocked her out with one attack. The great Kakashi runs away from Naruto with a smirk on his face. Sideline. Damn, Naruto is brutal, Hinata said, as she looked at her mother. Hey, he does when he is pissed off, Hidamori replied. Yahoo, go Naruto-kun, Kurumu shouted. It seems that Naruto have gotten stronger, Lee said. Naruto is just playing with them, Ishino said. Yeah, I know, Kushina replied. But Kakashi? Kakashi was running with the knockout Sakura over his shoulder as he jumped onto the trees. Damn, I don't want to use it yet, but I must if I want to beat Kakashi, as he jumped to another tree and stopped when he saw Naruto in front of him. You can't escape my eyes, Kakashi, Naruto said. When did he pass me, Kakashi, as he looked for any sealer his sensei's kunai, as he put down Sakura. Lightning release, Chidori cannon, Kakashi shouted, as the lightning came at Naruto, who dodged the attack. Before anyone could even blink, Kakashi was sent soaring through the forest. Everyone looked back to see Naruto in the exact same spot. Not even the dust had moved. Suddenly, blast of chakra, and the rubble that were around Kakashi were blown off. Hachiman came in. Kai. Naruto looks up to see Blur soaring at him, lifting his arm to block a kick. Kakashi then kicked at Naruto, who dodges it, and flipped back ways. Kakashi started kicking at Naruto, but Naruto kept on dodging them. Time to end this, Naruto said, as he delivered an uppercut to Kakashi, which sent him into the air where Naruto was waiting on him for a kick, as Kakashi crashed into the ground. Nova, Naruto said, as Nova started raining down at Kakashi, who screamed out in pain, as the rain burned him all over his body. Your luck, this is a test or you would have died, Naruto said, as he landed beside Kakashi. The winner is Tsunade, and suddenly a pink flash appeared behind Naruto and punched him in the head. Naruto, Hinata, and Lee screamed, as Naruto's headless body falls to the ground. As she just used the Flying Thunder God jutsu was on the mind of the others, except Danzo. He had a smile on his face. Sakura shouted, as she picked up the kunai, then the Naruto in front of her turned into blood, and a hit to the head sent her back to dreamland. Kushina, you burned the scroll, right? Naruto asked. Yes, I did, Kushina replied. Then how did she learn the jutsu? Naruto asked Kushina to look at the down girl. She may not love her child, he must have given it to her, Kushina replied. What are you going to do about it? Mikoto asked. Nothing, Naruto replied. What, they all shouted, as they wanted to question Naruto, but Tsunade cut them off. Naruto, you are hereby being promoted to the rank of Anbu, Tsunade said, as she gave him his mask, but Naruto refused. I don't want to work behind the scenes, so I want to be an elite jounin instead, Naruto replied. Okay, Naruto-kun, Swan said. With Naruto. Ichiraku's ramen shop. Ah, it's been so long, Naruto said, entering the restaurant. Hey, I'll take a miso ramen, Naruto said. Sure, coming right up, Tsuchi said without turning around while still cooking the ramen. Did you win the fight with Naruto? Tsuchi asked. Hey, it was easy, so where Aim-chan? I didn't see her at the match, Naruto replied. She told me she was preparing something for victory, Tsuchi said. I wonder what it is? Naruto asked. While leading ramen off something, Tsuchi replied not to release what he was saying. So where is she? Naruto asked. In the back, Tsuchi replied, as Naruto walked past him. In the back. Aim-chan, Naruto called, as somebody dragged him into the kitchen and threw him into a seat. Just sit back and enjoy, Aim said, as she started stripping for him. Then she took off his pants and started putting ramen on his cock and went to work. 30 minutes later. Tucci-san, where is Aim-san? Asked a customer. She was in the back eating some ramen with her boyfriend. Tucci replied that he remembered earlier when he saw Aim putting ramen on a cucumber, then licking it off. Oh my god, Naruto, more. Wow, can I get some of that ramen? The customer. Naruto. Tucci shouted as he ran into the kitchen with a butcher's knife. Suna. Two people were walking through the desert towards Suna, and well, they were both wearing the same uniforms. One of them had blonde hair that was tied in a ponytail, and had a large piece of hair hanging over one side of his face to cover his eye, with a large straw hat that was covering his head, and had stringers falling around it. The other person was short, and had a hunched over back, and was wearing a bandana over his mouth, covering the lower half of his face, so that all you could see were his black eyes. On top of his head was a straw hat with a single tassel, which he used to cover, and hide the rest of his face. Both of them were wearing black cloaks with red clouds, the clothing of Akatsuki, and were S-class missing ninja. I'm telling you, Sasori-senpai, my art is way better than yours, the blonde one said. Sasori sighed as he listened to his partner. They had been having this argument since they became partners. Sasori always wondered if Leader-sama let this man join Akatsuki just to annoy him. For the last time, my art is better than yours. True beauty lasts forever, and never dies over time, that way people can enjoy it longer. Sasori. Sasori-senpai, I have to tell you, you're wrong. Kazuki's office. Tamari looked out over Sunagakure from the top of the Kazuki's tower. A lot had changed in the past 3 years, since Naruto had sealed away the one-tail mind. Now she was wearing the robes of the Kazuki over his Suna attire. However, getting the villagers to see him, as her siblings did, was a whole different story because of her past action. However, through hard work, and with the support of his siblings, she had been able to overcome the hate the villagers had on her, and gain acceptance, and a few months ago they had asked her to become their guardian Kazuki. As she stared at the village she had sworn to protect, she wondered when the man she loved would come visit her, and give her a good celebration for her accomplishment in her bed. Naruto had been her first love, the only person you have the balls to come up with, and flirt with her, and the only person he knew who could understand her. It was only because of her lover that Tamari decided to change, and wanted to gain the acceptance of her family, and people. She knew that when Naruto went on a training trip with his mother, the rumors and stories that had spread about Naruto had reached everywhere in the elemental nations that Naruto was a god. It made Tamari hot, and bothered her when she thought of her lover, the supernova Uzumaki Naruto. Kazuki-sama. Tamari turned her head to see one of the council members behind him. The meeting is beginning soon. Tamari nodded. Very well. She looked out over the village one last time before following the council member to the council chamber. Tamari entered the chamber, and took his seat between Baki and Yor. Baki now wore the robes of a counselor over his jonin attire. He still had a bandana on his head with the cloth covering half of his face. Yor was the jonin who had originally been in charge of the guards who watched the gate into Sunagakure. 4 years ago he had managed to work his way up towards the position on the advisory council. Yor wore council robes, and wrap-around bandana. He had spiky bangs that covered half of his face, and a small beard. The exams are coming soon, one of the counselors stated, as this was Suna's year to host the exams. I am looking forward to the results. Yor stood from his seat to garner everyone's attention. As am I, however, I have received some rather disturbing information on a rumor that has come up recently. What kind of rumors? Asked Baki, as he looked at the man. At dawn. Later. Deidre and Sasori continued their trek across the hot desert of Suna. Deidre looked over at Sasori, and had to wonder how the man could not be bothered by this stifling heat. Looking out over the desert, Deidre decided to make conversation. So those people Orochimaru tricked her up ahead, yeah? Deidre asked. When Sasori didn't answer, Deidre looked out across the dunes. It seems that for some reason he leaked our information, and turned into a traitor, yeah? We don't have a choice, it seems, Sasori said after a long moment of silence. I don't know what he's like after using that either. Sasori spoke, referring to the body possession the snake Senin had made. The puppet user looked at Deidre, who had grabbed a bag from his pouch. Will you be alright with just that bag? And our opponent is a Jinchuriki after all. I wouldn't worry about me, Deidre said, as he unzipped a pouch on his waist, and stuck his hand in. My work is all artistic. Deidre brought his hand out of the pouch to show that the bottom of his hand had a mouth on it. As they continued walking, they eventually came upon the gates of Suna. Along the walls were several dozen guards who were currently staring at the two figures that were coming their way in surprise. Stand back, guys, I'll handle this, Yor said. Then Sasori activates a seal. Before any of the shinobi had a chance to react, Yor killed them by activating several traps. Walking to the front of the gate, Yor got down on one knee, as he bowed to the two of them, as they walked up. Sasori and Deidre walked up to the bowed-down figure. Well done, Sasori said in his gruff voice. Do you remember me? Of course, Sasori-sama. Yor said, still in a kneeling position. Good, since your memories have returned, you are my faithful servant, Sasori stated, pleased to see that his slave seal had done its work properly. Alright. Deidre said, if you'd forgotten I might have had to use my Deidara looked at the mouth on his left hand. As it finished chewing the clay he had it eat. Alright then, here we go. The mouth coughed up some clay, and Deidara began to mold it into a bird. He threw the bird into the air, and held his hands in a hand sign. There was a puff of smoke, and when it cleared, the little bird that Deidara had molded was now twice as large as Deidara himself. Jumping on the bird, Deidara threw off his hat, and grinned, as he looked back at Sasori. What do you think of my artistic modeling? Deidara asked Sasori, as he flew into the air, not giving the man a chance to speak. Tamari sat in her office after having just finished the last bit of paperwork. She got up, and looked out of the window behind her desk, and frowned when she spotted a giant white bird flying outside. With Naruto. What's new? Naruto asked, as a figure popped up in front of him. The Akatsuki is going to begin hunting for the Biju again. Their first target will be the one-tailed Sasori no Akasuna, and Deidara are the ones assigned to this task. Tem-chan, Naruto said, as he looked at the figure. Thank you for telling me this. Tamari is not only a Jinchuriki, but my girlfriend as well. Suna. Kazuki's office. In this desert, Tamari said, no bird like that exists. Heh, seems like all my sneaking was in failure, yeah, Deidara said with a grin, but whatever, at least now I don't need to look for you, yeah. Tamari said nothing. As she raised his hands, Deidara began to prepare some clay bomb birds for his attack. Just a little ways outside the gates of Suna, a large wave of sand shot into the air. There was hundreds of tons of sand from the desert that Tamari could control, and all of it headed for Deidara. The sand turned into a huge bird, and attacked Deidara in an attempt to spear him. Deidara's bird weaved in between the attacks, as he rummaged through his bag. Pulling out his hands, he made several more clay birds, and threw them at Tamari. A hand sealed later, and there was a burst of smoke. The birds grew a little bit, and came to life, as they flew round the sand, and headed straight towards the young Kazuki. Seeing them coming. Full in my desert I am a goddess, Tamari shouted, as she manipulated the sand around her into a shield to protect himself from the explosion. I see that your sand will become troublesome, Deidara said, as the sand began to encircle him, compressing itself in the hopes of crushing him. Just as the sand fully compressed into a sphere, Deidara screamed out. As the sand started to crush him, he tried to escape, as one of his hands escaped, but the sand latched onto his arm. Sabakayu, Tamari said, as Deidara was crushed. Kasu was shouted at, and Tamari blew up, and sand everywhere. The blonde bomber appeared out of the ground, and looked at the spot where he blew up. You're good, Deidara said, as he looked for Tamari, as he went into his pouch, and began to gather clay. The bomber realized that he only had a little bit of clay left. He looked around for Tamari. Shit, she was right, with all this sand I will never be able to beat her, Deidara, as he put some clay into his mouth, and started to run through some hand seals when he started to sink into a hole. That wouldn't work, Deidara shouted, ready to unleash his attack when a sand shock came out of the ground, and covered his mouth. You talk too much, Tamari said, as she rose out of the ground. Now die, human burial, as the sand started to enter Deidara's mouth. Stop or your brother dies, Sasori with a lint kankuro in his hand. Tamari said, as the sand started creeping around Sasori. I would do that if I were you. Your brother's life is not the only one in danger, Sasori said, as his tail was around Kankuro's neck. There is also explosive all around the village. Fine, what do you want? Tamari asked, as her sand retreats. We want you to come with us, Sasori replied. Konoha. Tsunade office. Naruto, what took you so long? Tsunade shouted. Sorry, Tsunade-sama, but Zun-chan cornered me on my way here, Naruto replied. That bitch has been keeping my Naruto-kun away from bed for a week now, Tsunade said, as she released some KI's self bitch. Whatever, I called you here because I received news that Tamari had been kidnapped by Red Dawn, Tsunade said. What? Naruto shouted. Calm down, Naruto, Kakashi team was on a mission near there, so I sent them to help find Tamari, Tsunade replied. I'm going, Naruto replied, as he looked into Tsunade's eyes. As Naruto's eyes changed, suddenly Tsunade punched the wall right of her, and heard a scream, and a masked man fell to the ground dead with a root on his headband. Now we can talk. I already know about the kidnapping, and who kidnapped her, Naruto said, as he told her everything. You can go, but wait for your teammates, Tsunade said. I don't have time for teammates, Naruto replied. Too bad, we are coming with you, Yuga said, as he came through the window. Even if you don't want us, we are still coming, Mei said, as she arrived. Ishizune said, as she arrived next. Don't forget me, Kurumu said. No, you are not coming with me, Naruto replied, as he looked at her. They are after you. I know that, but I have 4 tails worth of power, so I can still protect myself, Kurumu said. That what the 4-tail thought, and look what happened to him, Naruto replied. Then you have to protect me, Kurumu said, as she walked up to Naruto, and wrapped her hands around him, then kissed him on his lips. Fine, just stay close to me, Naruto replied, as he gave Tsunade and Tsunade a kiss before he left. How are we going to get to Suna in time to save the Kazuki when Suna is 3 days away? Yuga asked. Naruto-kun, can you use that technique? Shizune asked. What technique? You mean the flying thunder god? Yuga asked, as Kurumu, Mei, Shizune, and Naruto started to laugh. Why are you guys laughing at me? Yuga asked. Because Naruto technique put that unless jutsu to Shane Mei replied. Wow, I never knew there was a technique that was even faster than the fourth technique, Yugao said. Yes, there are two that we know of. Do you remember the guy in the spiral mask that we told you about? And Rudokan uses the other one, Shizun replied. We found out that he is using a jutsu called Kumai, Kurumu said. What is Kumai? Yugao asked. Well, Kumai is a powerful space-time jutsu that creates a unique and specialized form of space-time ninjutsu. It allows the user to achieve two very distinct, yet closely associated feats: teleportation and intangibility. Mei replied. The left eye's primary use of Kamui is based on line of sight and, as such, does not require physical contact to warp a target into the other dimension. By focusing to create a barrier space and concentrating on the target within, Kamui will distort space, and the target will be drawn into the other dimension. Shizun said. The right eye gives you the ability of intangibility. When activated, any part of the body that overlaps with a solid object is seamlessly warped to the other dimension, making it appear as though he is phasing through them. You can conceal yourself from view, you can enter and travel through the ground using this ability, Kurumu said. Wow, so can you use Kamui with Naruto-kun? Yugao asked. After what happened in the mist, I can never use some of the Sharingan abilities, but I seem to gain other abilities like them, Naruto replied. Okay, so what is this technique that Shizun wants you to use? Yugao asked. Well, Yugao-chan, my technique is better than Kumai, and that's all I can tell you now, Naruto said, as his eyes changed, as he saw one of Danzo's spies. Then the girls sensed him. Mei-chan shows Yugao-chan a demonstration, Naruto said, as Mei launches her attack at Naruto. Great Lava Dragon, Mai shouted, as the attack came at Naruto when a silver portal appeared in front of Naruto and absorbed the attack, as Yugao mouth hit the ground. Where did it go? Yugao asked. 3, 2, 1 Naruto was heard on a tree 2 feet away from them, as Mei's dragon melted the trees. 3 seconds early. Shit, what do I have to tell Danzo-sama about this? Jutsu, said the rude Anbu, as the silver portal appeared behind him, and the lava dragon came out of it with great speed. He screams, as the dragon melts him, and the trees. Now that Danzo's spy is taken care of, I'll show how we can get to Suna in a second using my new jutsu, Naruto said, as the portal opens up, and shows a picture of Yugao looking at the image with her jaws on the ground. Chan, Shizun said, as she jumps into the portal, followed by Mei, then Kurumu, and Yugao after she picks up her jaws, then finally Naruto, as the portal closes. Suna. The gate. The two immortal Suna were watching the gate when they saw 5 people appear in front of the gate out of nowhere. Their names were Kothag and Izukami. They had been chunin since they were 20, and now they are in their 40s, and still can't pass the jounin exam. Alert the villagers, Izukot shouted, as he pulled out a kunai. Flare no jutsu, Izu shouted, as the flare went into the air, and within seconds the village shinobi was there ready to attack with Guerrero leading them. Is that Naruto? Guerrero, as she looked closer, opened the gate. It's Naruto. You mean the supernova? Yukata said, as a blush came to her face, then she fainted when somebody caught her. Yukata-chan, Mitsuri shouted, as she caught her, then she saw Naruto, and fainted too. Yes, Guerrero replied, as she ran towards him. Now we know that the Kazuki-ichi will be alright, the shinobi shouted. With Naruto. They entered the gate only to see Guerrero running towards them. Naruto, I'm glad you came, Guerrero said, as she told him what happened quickly. Don't worry, I'll save Tem-chan, Naruto replied, as they left. With Team Kakashi. Suddenly 2 persons appear before them, one of them Kakashi recognizes, but the other one has a cloak that covers his face. Itachi, Kakashi growled. Sakura was stunned. After all the talk, this person is Itachi Uchiha. Itachi, ho, this is the child who killed his entire family, Chio said. So this is when Danzo warned me about Sai, as he pulled out his scroll and paintbrush. He has the same Sharingan as Sasuke Kanri, as he go into his fighting stances. This is the person who inflicts suffering my Sasuke-kun Sakura, as her anger grew. What have you done with the Kazuki? Lee yelled. Itachi nonchalantly greeted those before him. It's been a while, Kakashi-san. The team, you are going to pay for what you did to Sasuke-kun, Sakura shouted, ready to attack Itachi when Kakashi saw Itachi's hands move. It's dangerous, everybody don't look directly into his eyes, Kakashi shouted. It will be very difficult for Sakura, as she tries to think of a way to do it. Don't worry, Kakashi-san, my youthful sensei has taught me the ways to defeat a Sharingan user, Lee shouted. The Uchiha clan, it's been a long time since I fought a Sharingan user, Chio said. Then she looks at Sakura. Well, there is no need to worry, because there are many strategies for fighting a Sharingan user. What should we do? Sakura asked. If it's 1-on-1 then you should flee, but if it's 2-on-1, then one should take the rear, Chio replied. What do you mean? Lee asked. If it is 2-on-1, even if one gets caught in a jinjutsu, then the other one can get behind the user and attack him to release the jutsu, Chio replied, as she licked her lips. Even if that way is impossible, then the one can release his partner themselves. I see, Sakura said. But not going to work on Itachi because he uses an eye jutsu that surpasses the normal Sharingan. The Manjaku Sharingan it has a genjutsu that take effect the instant it is cast, and there is no way to cancel the effect, Kakashi said. The troublesome person said to a shocked Chio, what in the world is he? That's Kakashi for you. After being affected by my Tsukiyomi just once, you seem to have grasped a bit of understanding, Itachi stated. That's not all, Kakashi retorted. After you used that, you grew wary and left the fight. Besides that, it requires a great deal of chakra. It also presents a great risk to your eyes, as well, doesn't Itachi, he concluded. Well analyzed, given that he only fought me once, Itachi replied in his emotionless voice. As Kakashi lifted his headband, he asked, just how far has your eyesight deteriorated, Itachi? Upon hearing this, and seeing Kakashi's Sharingan, Itachi looked awestruck. He averted his gaze, and wouldn't say a word. He finally reacted with, impossible Kakashi, how did you do? Kakashi answered, last time I was unprepared, but this time things won't go your way. I'll take him on, Kakashi declared, as he charged at Itachi when he was blocked by an earth wall. It seems like you guys are forgetting me, said the cloak man. Kakashi, Sakura, Lee, Sai, and Chio, you deal with him. Hi, they shouted. With Naruto. Naruto arrived to see Lee getting knocked out while Sai was on the ground. Only Kakashi, Sakura, and Chio were left standing, but they had cuts and bruises all over their body. Kakashi-san, you are boring where Naruto-kun is. He would be a better opponent, Itachi said, as Kakashi glared at him. I'm right behind you, Naruto said, which shocked Itachi, Kakashi, and Sakura. When did he reach here, Kakashi and Sakura? When did he reach behind me, Itachi? So what do we do? Sakura asked. Nothing, Naruto said, as he threw a punch at Itachi, who dodges the punch and jumped away. What do you mean nothing? It's our mission, Sakura yelled. Not anymore, so turn back, Naruto replied. We don't take orders from you, Kakashi said, as Naruto tosses a scroll at him which he caught and reads shit, then he turns to Sakura. Pick up the guys, we are going home, Kakashi said. But Sakura replied. No, but it's an order, Kakashi said. So Naruto-kun, do you think you can take on both of us alone? Itachi said, as the figure let out a growl, as he looked at Naruto. Who said I was alone? Naruto replied when a lava dragon met them, forcing them to dodge. Shit at the Mizukage's twin sister, my Itachi. Hi boys, sorry I'm late, Mei said with a smile on her face. Itsuga Tenshin's attack came at the cloak figure, who shouted at the earth wall, as he blocked the attack. Yuga, Itachi said. It's good to see you again, Itachi, Yuga replied, as a fist crashed into the wall, destroying it, and sending the cloak figure flying. Where the hell is Itachi, as he saw the blue air girl. Kuruma-chan, what took you so long, Naruto asked. Just waiting for the right time, Kuruma replied. Was heard, as Itachi jumped away without his right hand. So Kisame really is dead, Itachi, when he sees his former partner's sword. So you are the one that kills Kisame Shizune, as he clutches his missing hand. I wish I could take credit, but it was Ridokan who killed him, Shizune replied. Flashback. Seal art. Geminite person, Naruto said, as a crystal-like dome appeared around him, cutting him off from Shizune. No can hold, Kisame shouted, as he swung his sword at the dome, but it didn't break. This isn't an ordinary barrier, the only way to escape is to kill the user or the user cancel it, Naruto replied, as he steps inside the barrier, as Kisame attack again. Ahaha, you were saying, Naruto said, as he laughed at Kisame, as Kisame glared at him, and attacked the barrier, as he pulls out the destroyer, and attack Kisame, who blocked it with Samehada. Samehada screams out in pain. Shit, I forgot about his sword's ability, Kisame, as he jumped back, water release. Exploding water colliding wave, as he spews out a massive amount of water, covering an entire barrier with crushing, unavoidable waves. So he taken advantage of my barrier, Naruto, as he hold his breath. Full Kisame water release. 1,000 feeding sharks on 1,000 sharks made of water enter into a wall formation, and rain down to attack Naruto. While Naruto looks at the shark coming at him, as he activates his eyes. Shinra Tensei, as the shark explodes on contact with Naruto's jutsu, then Naruto pulls a seal out of his pocket, and puts it over his mouth. Kisame, you can't beat me, so why don't you give up, Naruto said. That's very funny, brat, I show you what power is, Kisame replied, as he started fusing with Samehada, and thanks for the barrier, it will help me more than you. Welcome to my world, bitch, Kisame said, as he came at Naruto at high speed. So that the foremate told me about, Naruto said, as he dodges a punch only to receive one to the stomach, then kick comes at him, but blocks it, and kicks Kisame in his face, forcing him to back away. You are good, but let me see you dodge this, Kisame, as he came at Naruto again. He didn't have any time to dodge, as Kisame took off his head only for Naruto to turn into a water. The real Naruto hit Kisame with a punch to the jaw, as he was sent a few feet away. When? Kisame. When I punch you, Naruto replied, as Kisame attacked him, as Naruto vanished, and reappeared behind him, and another punch to his face, as Kisame spit out a tooth. How are you moving so fast in the water? Kisame shouted, and it hit him. So you place a seal on me when you punch me, for the flying thunder god said, as he looked for the seal. Samehada, do you sense any seals on me? Kisame asked. Growl, no, Samehada replied. Don't compare that second-rate jutsu to mine, Naruto said, as he vanished and appeared in front of Kisame, and a punch to the stomach, followed by a kick to the face that sent him through the water. The great Kisame is being beaten by a kid, Naruto said, as Kisame growled. Summoning jutsu, Kasame-sade, as a shark appeared, and Kisame got on its back, as they attacked Naruto, who vanished, and appeared above them. Nova release Big Bang Rasing, Naruto shouted, as he slammed the attack into Kisame, and the shark then exploded on contact, as Kisame screamed out in pain. When the smoke cleared, Kisame was on the water floor covered in burns. It's a good thing I used a shadow clone, Naruto said, as he took down the barrier, but the water dome was still there. You will never defeat me, Kisame shouted, as he got up. You should have listened to what Itachi, Naruto said, as he vanished, and reappeared outside of the water dome, as yellow lighting started to appear around his hand. I have to get out of here, Kisame said, as he raced towards the end when he heard Nova Chidori, as Naruto put his hand into the water, electrocuting Kisame. Kisame screamed out in pain, and fell to the bottom of the water, as the water evaporated because of how powerful the lighting was. Naruto and Shizune walked towards Kisame. As they reach closer, something bursts out of Kisame's back, and comes as Shizune, but Naruto catches it. It was Samehada. So you survived, Naruto said, as he sword growled at him. Then Naruto felt something pierces his hand, but Naruto still held on to the sword. Then he reached for the destroyer. Suddenly the spike retracts, and Samehada turns around, and started licking Naruto's face off, whose sweat dropped. That wouldn't work on me, Naruto replied, as he raised the destroyer to finish it off when Shizune held on to his arm. Don't do it, Rudokan, Shizune said. Why not? Naruto asked. Because it's not evil, it was only following his master orders, Shizune replied. How do you know that? Naruto asked. Because I see it in its eyes, Shizune replied. But it could be a trap, Naruto said, as he looked at the sword, who was crying now. It not, and everybody deserve a second chance, Shizune replied. Fine, I'll let it live, Naruto said, as Samehada jumped out of his hands, and started licking off Shizune's face. Would you like to be my sword, Samehada-kun? Shizune asked, licking her face even more. I will only let that happen if I can place a seal on you to prevent Samehada from stealing your chakra, Naruto said. Flashback end. I see, Itachi replied, as he activates his Sharingan when multiple Thunder God Kunisakura shouted, as the famous three-palm kunai surrounds the place, as Sakura vanishes in a pink flash, and appeared behind Itachi, and gave him her strongest punch to the side of his head, that cracked Itachi's skull, and sent him flying towards Kakashi, who had a lighting edge in his hand, as he put it out, and Itachi flees right into it. Oh yeah, I avenged Sasuke-kun, Sakura shouted, now he can come back, and be with me. Then the figure appeared, and slams his hands on the ground. Earth Coffin raises, and captures both. Earth Funeral, as Kakashi and Sakura scream out in pain before the earth crushes them. Outside the Jinjutsu, Sakura was on the ground drooling, and Kakashi was on one knee. Demonic illusion. False, Naruto said. Naruto, you team, Kakashi shouted. She was about to get herself killed, and beside, I gave you an order, now go, Naruto said, as Kakashi growled, and two shadow clones picked up his team. You are going nowhere, the cloak figure said. Earth Dragon came to Kakashi. Lave bullet was fired, and melted the dragon, then the figure dodged a punch from Kurumu. Itsuga Tenshin hit the figure, but he turned into some rock, as Shizune appeared behind the real one, and swung Samehada at him, but he put up an earth wall to block it, but Samehada her through it, cutting the figure in half, as he turned into rocks. Earth Coffin was heard, as the figure came out of the ground under Shizune, but she jumped out of the way, dodging the jutsu. With Naruto. Fireball Jutsu, Itachi shouted, as Naruto dodged his attack. You will never save the Kazuki with me fighting you, Itachi, as he ran through some hand signs. 5 release firebomb, as a giant fireball came at Naruto, who dodged it by jumping into the air, as the jutsu explodes, as it touches the ground. Then it is a good thing that you are here, then Naruto said, as he saw Naruto's eyes. A new jutsu, so that's how he knows Itachi, as he saw Naruto attack. Nova Dragon comes at Itachi, who dodges the attack only to find Naruto behind him. How is he getting behind me with me sensing Itachi, as he blocks and dodges Naruto's punches? How did you get behind me? Is it the Fly Thunder God Jutsu? Itachi asks, as he checks for seals, as Naruto vanishes from in front of him. Like this, Naruto replied, as he pushed the red D through Itachi's stomach, then he fell to the ground, and turned into somebody else. Naruto turns towards his team. Stop playing with him, Naruto said. Fine, Mei said, lovable, as the attack came at the figure. Double earth wall, as Mei Jutsu hit the wall, melting both of them when Sky uppercut was heard, as Kuruma burst out of the ground under the figure, and delivered the uppercut that sent him into the air. My turn, Shizune shouted, as she jumps into the air with Samehada, and cut him in half, as he screams out in pain. Then enhanced Jutsuga Tenshin, the attack destroys the body completely. Wow, the power of Team Nova is unbelievable, Chio. With Team Nova. Who is that? Mei asked, as she looks at the body. Chio started, and stopped. He's a Jounin from my village, she informed me. But if he's from the sand, what is he doing here in an Akatsuki robe? Yugao asked. Unknown cave. Man, that was fast. I didn't have to use up much chakra like I did on the four-tailed, Tadara said. That because somebody had already sealed him away already, so he did put up a fight like the others, Sasori replied. I wonder if it was the supernova. I heard he fought her at the Chunin exam, Tadara said. Could be, so why are we still here? Sasori asked. Because I want to fight the supernova, Tadara replied. Why is he not our target? Sasori asked. That's not the reason I want to fight him, it's because I want to show Cuckoo that I'm stronger than him, Tadara replied. With Team Nova. That's a 5 seal barrier, Naruto said, as they arrived on the scene. How do we break the seal tags? Shizune asked, as she looked at Naruto. We first have to find 4 more seal tags, and destroy them simultaneously, Naruto replied, as he activated his eyes, and searched for the rest of the seal tags. Eyes let Shizune go northeast about 500 meters from here on top of a rock, Naruto, then he turns to Yugao. Go southeast about 300 meters away from here on a tree trunk rising from a riverbed, Naruto said, then he turned to Mei. Going northwest about 650 meters away from here struck a cliffside, Naruto said, then he turned to Kurumu. The last one is southeast about 800 meters away from in the center of a small grove, Naruto said. They all replied, as they jumped away, as Naruto created a shadow clone. Ready in 3, 2, 1, Naruto said, as they all pulled off the seal tags at the same time. Girls, are you seeing this? Mei asked. Hi. What's going on? Naruto asked. The trap, Shizune replied. And it looked like me, Yugao said. Hurry up, Naruto replied, as he walked towards the boulder, and flicked it with his finger, and the boulder shattered. Let's go, Chio-san, Naruto said, as they entered the cave to see Sasori, Tadara, and a giant clay bird. So we finally met Supernova. Tadara said, as he sat on Tamari. Get away from the Kazuki, Chio said, as they laughed. Yes, a very beautiful corpse, the blonde snidely remarked, as he rubs his hands on her. Suddenly Tadara was against the wall with Naruto's hands around his throat. You will pay for what you did to Tamari, Naruto, as he squeezes Tadara harder. Shit, he's fast, Tadara, and Sasori. Katsu, and the Tadara explode, blowing up Naruto, as another Tadara comes out of the clay bird. Art is an explosion. Tadara said, as he started to laugh. If you say so, Naruto said, as he entered the cave. What the hell, I just killed you, Tadara shouted, as the giant clay bird picked Tamari in his mouth, and flew away. Hold on until help arrive, Chio-san, Naruto said, as he created a shadow clone that only had 6% of his chakra, then he vanished. Sasori, Chio said, as she prepared to fight. Long time no see, Granny, I thought you were dead, Sasori replied, as he laughed. Chio launched a string of kunai that ripped through his robe, and revealed more of his body. He taunted them by saying, if you plan on opposing me, Chio, then I'll just have you my collection. Sasori said, as Chio glared at him. I'll start by dragging out your entrails. Then I'll rip your skin off, and clean all the blood. Once I treat it so it doesn't decay, I'll stock it with the rest of my collection. What should I do? Shadow Clone asked. His real body is on the inside, Chio proudly answered. Puppeteers are weak in combat because they're left open to attacks while controlling their puppets. The puppet he is using is one to bypass such a weakness. The puppet becomes like armor, and a weapon all at once. I know it well because it's always been Sasori's favorite. First things first, we have to take out Haruko. Once we destroy it, we'll go from there. Since I don't have the strength to do it, I'll be depending on you, Shadow Clone, with that superhuman strength you got from Tsunade. Just don't let me get hit 2 times, Shadow Clone replied. So you're done already? You know, Granny, I hate to be kept waiting, Sasori warned. Yeah, just pipe down, you will be dead soon enough, Chio replied, as she attached her string to the Shadow Clone, and charged at Sasori. Sasori ripped the cloth from around Haruko's mouth, as poisonous darts flew from it. The 2 shinobis rushes into the barrage, and dodges all the poison kunes. Sasori shouted, as Haruko's club-like left hand started firing in their direction, as more poisonous kunes asked them. Unlike the first, these kunes came from different directions, making it difficult to dodge them, but they did. Even the Shadow Clone manages to defeat Sasori. The Shadow Clone charged at him, as he swung his tail, but the Shadow Clone jumped over it, and attacks Sasori, who dodges it, and hit the Shadow Clone across its face with his tail, as the Shadow Clone was sent flying when Samehada came crashing down on Haruko's, destroying it. Lava Dragonkum on Haruko melted, then they saw somebody escape before the dragon hit. Are you alright, Chio-sama, Yugao asked, as she and Kurumu landed. I'm fine, Chio replied, as she looked at her grandson. What is this? He looks the same as he did long ago. It's as if he hasn't aged a day, a perplexed Chio thought. So you forced me to reveal my true form, Sasori said. Shit, I'm in trouble. Sasori pulled a scroll that had 3 written on it, and stated, I'll show you something special. Killing this one from my collection was rather difficult. That's why I like him the best. With the new puppet revealed, Chio was once again puzzled that it couldn't be. That's the 3rd Kazuki's. The 3rd Kazuki's body was stolen. Shizune asked. It's been over 10 years since he disappeared from the village. He was the strongest of the Kazuki's. Sasori, you've not only fallen to the level of a mere criminal, but you've betrayed your village and gone after the Kazakage 3 times, Chio explained. 3 times, Yugao asked. It was Orochimaru who killed the 4th Kazakage, Tamari's father, but it was this one who guided him. With this time with Tamari, and now even the 3rd. Sasori interrupted her and corrected, hey, I wouldn't say I had anything to do with the 4th. It was my subordinate who guided him. Originally I was partnered with Orochimaru when he was a part of Akatsuki, so we did many things, but this time Sasori was interrupted by Mei. Do you know about Orochimaru? Why don't you tell me about him? I'd rather not. Instead, let's get on with it, he answered, as he flung his puppet at them. With Naruto earlier. Tadara reaches high in the air when Naruto appears out of nowhere, and gives him a swift kick that sends him crashing into the ground, as Naruto landed on the bird when he heard it crash. Tadara shouted, as he got out of the crater Katsu, as the giant bird exploded, and Tadara began to laugh. Art is an explosion. You don't say, what Naruto said, as he landed on the ground with Tamari's body in his hand. Are you sure you want to stay here and fight me? Supernova, Tadara said, as his hands started to eat some clay behind his back. I hate to admit it, but Master Sasori is stronger than me. I'm sure, besides the girls are already back, and they are helping Chiyo-sama, Naruto replied. Ha, if you say so, Tadara, when hundreds of small spiders started covering Naruto. I can't believe you fell for that, yet Tadara said. Shinu Tensei. Katsu, as the clay spider exploded, and Tadara began to laugh until the smoke cleared, and Naruto was still standing with no scratch on him. I saw better art than this, Naruto said, as Tadara glared at him, and created another bird to escape, as Naruto laid Tamari on the ground. Summoning jutsu, Naruto said. Who are we facing? Ryo asked. Sorry Ryo, but I need you to watch Tamari for me, as I take care of that fool, Naruto said, as he pointed to the fleeing Tadara. Fine, but the next time you summon me you better be surrounded by a few million shinobis or a few summoning, Ryo said, as Naruto vanishes. 500 meters away. Is it the flying thunder god? No, not if he had placed a seal on Tadara, he would have appeared behind her in front of him, and much closer, said the man with the Sharinganso. It's a new space-time jutsu that is better than Minato's, as he followed them, and saw Naruto appeared in front of Tadara again. With Team Nova. The wall of puppet arms branched out, and like a wave crashed down on the Kenoichis. Lava Bowl. Enhanced Jutsuga tension, destroying the puppets. Sasori, as he activates a secret compartment in his surviving puppets, Sasori releases smog of poisonous gas. As it flooded the area, Kurumu quickly made some hand signs. Futon Gale Force, Kurumu shouted, as the jutsu blew away the poison. Before anyone could make a single move, they saw some sand rising. Iron sand, it can be changed to any form, and weapons to suit the user's need at any given situation. This was the reason its user creator is considered the strongest Kazakage. Chio said. Iron sand wave, Sasori shouted, as a wave of sand came at them. Enhanced Jutsuga tension. Lava Dragon. Wine Bullet. Samehada Shizune shouted, as she threw her sword. The attack cancelled out the iron sand, as Samehada destroyed the 3rd Kazuki's right hand, and came back to take off the head, but he dodged it, and Samehada flew back into Shizune's hand. Should I outnumbered and outclass, I have to think of something, Sasori. The puppets are useless. What now? Mei boasted, as Sasori glared at them. Multiple sand shrunken 3rd Kazakage puppet said. The shape of the sand was manipulated into large shrunkens, and came at them at high speed. Lava Shield, Mai shouted, as to protect Kurumu and Yugao. To protect herself and Shizune, by using the father puppet that she summoned to create a chakra shield. You alive, old woman, Mei happily teased. Yeah, just a little sore, Chio replied. You have to try better than that, Kurumu said. Sasori was beginning to become irritated. This was starting to take too long for his tastes. His attack was being cancelled before it could reach, but they couldn't get near him. He wanted to finish things now. Sasori shifted his attack. The sand came together to form a giant sword, as big and wide as Ryo. Now die, Sasori shouted, as the sand hardened. Shizune called, as Shizune blocked the giant sand with Samehada, as the sand hit Shizune's sword, and she fell to her knees. Hurry up, Samehada-kun, Shizune said, as Samehada absorbed the chakra from the sand sword, then the sand fell on them. Damn, that was a lot of sand, Kurumu said, as she came up out of the sand. Cough, Yugao. We have to get away from the sand now, Chio shouted. Too late, sand coffin, Sasori shouted, as he was trapping the women in the sand. You have put up a good fight, but this is where it ends, Sasori laughed. I'll treat your bodies well, as the sand starts squeezing them. Kurumu now, Mei said, when suddenly 2 chakra arms came up out of the sand under the 3rd Kazakage puppet, and crushes it. Oh, Sasori shouted, as a chakra came at him, but he dodged it, and started removing his robe to reveal what was underneath. From his stomach, a long cable coiled to the ground, and on his back were a pair of bladed extremities. In a serious tone, and a ghastly expression, he said, It's been a while since I've had to use myself. I'll rip through you, and then the old hag, as well. Sasori yelled. When chakra arms hold him. The Jutsuga tension hit Sasori, as he screamed out in pain. Yahoo! Kurumu shouted, as they walked over to Sasori. When they reached over to Sasori, only his upper body survived the attack, and he was trying to put his body back together, when Charka spike pierced his body. Cough, it seems that I am defeated, Sasori, as he laughs, so I'll reward you. You said you wanted to know about Orochimaru. Yes, I did, Mei replied. Go to Tenchi Bridge in the Grass Village at noon 10 days from now. I have a spy within his organization, and I suppose to meet him there, Sasori replied. With Naruto. Tadara was on the ground painted. This guy was invincible, because ever jutsu Tadara throws at him, he either dodges it or blocks it. I want to see you dodge this, Tadara shouted, as he started to eat some clay dragon, as the dragon started firing clay all over the place, as Naruto dodges them. Katsu shouted, as they all exploded around him, as Naruto vanished, and appeared in front of Tadara, and shoved his hands through Tadara's stomach. You were saying, Naruto replied, as he tried to take his hand out when he realized it was stuck. Ahaha, Katsu Tadara, as he turns into clay blowing up Naruto. I knew I was stronger than Kuku, Tadara said when somebody slammed their fist into his stomach. Then an uppercut to the chin sent him into the air, as Naruto was up there to slam him back down, causing a large crater. Naruto walks towards Tadara, and picks him up by his throat, then reaches for one of Tadara's hands. So this is the hand that dares to touch my Temari, Naruto said, as he broke Tadara's left hand. Tadara screams out in pain. Kamui. Multiple Thunder God Kunin, Naruto heard, as he vanished, as the Jutsu tore through Tadara's right hand. Tadara screams out in pain again. Few minutes earlier, and 50 meters away. Kakashi-kun, we are not supposed to be here. We'll be in trouble if we get caught, Sakura said. Narm, Kakashi replied, as Sakura's eyes became light green, and her face became emotionless. What do you want me to do, master? Sasuke asked. It's nice to see you again, Inner Sakura. Thank you, Danzo-sama, Kakashi. Flashback within a flashback. Sakura has become very stronger under my training, Kakashi-san, Danzo said. I can see that, Kakashi replied, as he watched Sakura take down two shinobi. Now finish him, Danzo said. But Danzo-sama, we are just training, Sakura replied. Narm, now kill them, Danzo said. Yes, Master, Sakura replied, as she punched two holes in the ground where the shinobi's heads were. What just happened? Kakashi asked. That is Inner Sakura. I discovered her when we did mental training, and managed to hypnotize her into doing anything we want, Danzo said. As you look at the shot, Kakashi, we can activate Inner Sakura by our voice, only with the keyword. Does she remember anything that Inner Sakura does? Kakashi asked. No. Flashback within a flashback end. I want you to fire your special kunai all over the place, but leave out one area. Kakashi replied, then I want you to take Lee and Sai back to the village. Yes, Master, Inner Sakura replied. Kamui, Kakashi here revealed his Manjaku Sharingan, then he took a chakra pill. Multiple Thunder God Kune, Inner Sakura said. Chidori Trident, Kakashi said, as he threw the trident at high speed to the area where Naruto is supposed to land. Now. Tadara screams out in pain. Kamui. Multiple Thunder God Kune, Naruto heard, as he vanished, as the Jutsu tore through Tadara's right hand. Tadara screams out in pain again. Naruto reappeared in the only safe place when a lightning trident went through his back. Naruto didn't scream out in pain, but Kakashi did, as the lightning trident was through his chest rather than in Naruto's back. Foolish Kakashi, you think I didn't see, Naruto said, as he appeared before Kakashi. I saw you the moment you betrayed orders, and followed me. How did you do that? I saw my trident go through your back. Kakashi asked, as he coughed up blood. Let's just say I can create portals just by looking, Naruto replied. So you can use Kamui? Kakashi asked, as Naruto laughed. I won't let this injured kill you, Kakashi, because I want to kill you myself, Naruto said, as he reveals his Zenpangan, Universal Eyes JAY 3000. I hope I'm right, to Kakashi. I have taken everything away from you, you girl, you porn, now you eye, Naruto said. I would rather destroy it. Kakashi shouted, and pulled out a kunai to destroy the eye when he screamed out in pain, as Naruto's fingers ripped out his eye. Kakashi-kun, I have been waiting for you to come visit me, Orochimaru said, as he lit a naked Kakashi all over his body with his long tongue. No, Kakashi shouted, as he tried to escape, but he was struck to the bed. Somebody save me. No one will help you, so sit back and enjoy as I take your virginity, Orochimaru replied, as he spread Kakashi's ass cheek. I can't let you do that to my student, Orochimaru, Minato shouted. Thank God, Minato-sensei, Kakashi said. Then he got cocky. When I'm free, I'm going to shove my lighting edge up your ass. What are you talking about, Cat-kun? I want to be the one to take your virginity, Minato replied, as he took his pants off. No, I'll be the one, Orochimaru shouted. No, me, Minato shouted. No, me, Orochimaru shouted. Wait, why don't we do it together, Minato said. Okay, Orochimaru said, as Kakashi screamed out in pain while Minato and Orochimaru were enjoying themselves. Real world. Thought to thank Kurenai-chan for teaching me what jutsu, Naruto said, as Kakashi continued to scream. Meanwhile, in Konoha. In Konoha, we can find the two ice queens of Konoha and Hana. She had retired her crown when she became Naruto's girlfriend. They were in their usual hangout spot, the Dango shop. Kurenai had just come from training ground 3 after a quick training session with our team when she spotted Anko and Hana in the shop talking. "I can't believe you cut off that guy cock with a dango stick," Hana said, as they began to laugh. "He deserved it, trying to touch me," Anko replied, as Kurenai sat beside them. "What are you girls talking about?" Kurenai asked. "Anko was just telling me about her last mission," Hana replied. "Oh," Kurenai said, as she ordered some dango. "So Hana have Foxy-kun?" Anko asked, as Hana blushed. "We haven't reached that level as yet," Hana replied. "Why not? If it was me I would riding that cock on the first date," Anko replied, as she licked her lips. "Anko," Kurenai shouted. "I'm scared, I have never done that before," Hana replied. "I thought you and that Gemma guy did it," Anko replied. "No, we haven't. His senbonchuing affected his member," Hana said, as she whispered the last word. "You mean he couldn't get his thing up?" Anko shouted, as everybody in the shop looked at her, as Kurenai hit her in the head. "Not so loud, Anko-chan," Kurenai replied, as Anko rubbed the spot where she got hit. "Sorry," Anko replied. "He said that a shock," Hana replied. "Even I heard of it," Kurenai said. "Why didn't you tell me?" Hana asked. "Because we were waiting for you to tell us," Kurenai said, as their food arrived. "Night-chan, when are you going to tell Foxy-kun that you have feelings for him?" Anko replied with a dango in her mouth. "I'm not ready yet," Kurenai replied. "But you've been to all the meetings," Hana replied, as Kurenai blushed. "What meeting?" Anko asked. "Sorry, Anko-chan, but I have said too much already. If you want to know more you have to ask Tsunade or Kushina," Hana replied. "I know, but I'm scared that he won't like me," Kurenai said, as she held her head down. "Why would you think that?" Hana asked. "Because I'm a whore, and no one will want me," Kurenai replied, as tears began to flow. "I would say that to you," Anko shouted. "I have been received several letters from random shinobis, and I heard people talking about me, as I passed them," Kurenai replied. "I bet it was that Team Asuma that putting people up to this," Hana said. "The next time I saw him I cut off his balls with a dango stick," Anko replied. "Night-chan, Naruto don't care about that if he knows you love him," Hana said. "Fine, I'll tell him when he returns," Kurenai replied, when suddenly Anko threw a dango stick into the man's crotch, as he screamed out in pain. "Anko-chan, is that really necessary?" Kurenai asked. Anko shrugged. "The guy has been looking under my skirt the entire time I have been here," Anko said, as they all looked at the extra short skirt that she was wearing. "But did you have to throw it at his crotch? He may maybe never be able to have children." Kurenai replied. "He was looking under yours too," Anko replied. "That time you should have cut it off," Kurenai shouted, as Hana giggled, as she took a sip of her sake, while Anko was laughing her ass off. "Kurenai-chan, Asuma at 12 o'clock, Hana said. Kurenai sighed heavily. "Hey Kurenai-chan, how are you?" Asuma asked. Kurenai's face remained impassive. "Leave me alone, I don't have anything to say to you," she replied, as Anko and Hana prepared themselves in case Asuma tried to do something. "Come on Kur-chan, how many times do I have to say I'm sorry?" Asuma said. "You could say it a million times, and I would never forgive you," Kurenai replied. "Come Kur-chan, I love you, please forgive me," Asuma shouted, as everybody turned around and looked at them. "Asuma, you are making a scene. I suggest you stop now and go home," Kurenai replied. "But you still love me," Asuma shouted again. "I used to until you cheat on me, now I'm with someone else," Kurenai replied. "What guy would want you after the rumor I spread about you?" Asuma shouted. "So you are the reason I was getting those letters," Kurenai said coldly, and about to attack him when she came to her senses, and walked away when. "You team I kill you," Anko shouted, and attacked Asuma when Hana stopped her. "Stop Anko. You remember what happened to you the last time you attacked him," Hana said, as she held on to a furious Anko. She told Anko let's go, Kurenai said, as Kurenai took 2 steps. Her arm was forcefully tugged by someone. She looked down, and saw Asuma's arm tightly gripping her. Kurenai began releasing her killing intent. "Let go," she said coldly. "No? Not until you love me again," Asuma yelled. Kurenai dug into her pouch, and brought a kunai up. Anko closed in, and held a kunai to Asuma's cheek, while Hana held her claw to his neck. "Now we can attack him, but not kill him," Hana said, as they beat the crap out of him when suddenly 2 Anbu appeared, and took away Asuma's bloody body. With Naruto. "I'll kill you," Demon Kakashi shouted, clutching his bleeding eye. "Kuku, you are no threat to me," Goat Naruto replied, as he pulled Red Death. "You knew?" A shocked Kakashi asked. "Of course I knew, you tried to kill me so many times, but because of the third and Danzo you got away with it," Naruto replied, as he pushed his hand into Kakashi's injured chest. "You're one of the reasons why my mother was in a coma." Kakashi screamed out in pain. "But since I killed him you have no one to save you know except Danzo, who I will kill in time," Naruto said, as he squeezed Hander. "The team I knew Orochimaru wasn't the one to kill the third," Kakashi said. "Kuku, it was fun too," Naruto replied, as he swung down his sword when Kakashi dodges, and shove a Chidori in Naruto's face, but Naruto's face turned into a portal, and Kakashi's attack went through it, and appeared from a portal out of Naruto's stomach, and into Kakashi. "Team Kakashi said, as he fell to the ground. Say hello to the third, and the fourth for me, Naruto said, as he cut off Kakashi's head with his sword on Kakashi's way to the ground. Konoha Hospital. Rin was training with her master when she dodges a punch that destroyed the ground in front of her, when suddenly tears began to flow from her eyes. Then she was hit, but a boulder which knocked her out. 5 minutes later. What happened? Rin asked. You got distracted, the person said, as she heals Rin. Sorry Tsunade-sensei, Rin replied with tears in her eyes. Don't worry about it, but why are you crying? Tsunade asked. I don't know, I just like something bad happened to somebody I know, Rin replied. With Naruto. Naruto had just sealed away Kakashi's body when the girls and Chio arrived. Naruto-kun, they shouted, as they tackled him to the ground. I miss you girls, Naruto replied, as they started kissing him. Oh young love Chio, then she remembers the Kazuki-age. I hate to interrupt, but where is Temari-sama? Oh, she being guarded by Ryo, Naruto replied, as the women led him up. Follow me, as he jumped off, and they followed him until they saw his massive summoning animal. I'm back, Ryo, Naruto said. What took you so long, Naruto? Ryo asked. Had to take care of one eye, Naruto said, as the women's eyes widened except Chio. So you finally did it. I want you to show me later, Ryo replied, as he vanished in a puff of smoke. Naruto, what about the council? Mei asked. I have it covered, Naruto replied. Kazuki, Chio shouted, as she ran over to the body. She died, Naruto said, as tears began to flow from his eyes, as the women hugged him. It seems like Sasori-senpai is dead, and I can see why he never stood a chance, said Tadara, surprising everyone, as he stood in a clearing between trees, with some clay in his mouth, chewing it like gum. His entire body was a mess, as blood was still leaking from his missing and broken hand, all courtesy of Naruto and Kakashi's jutsu. He was panting like crazy, and only had chakra for one last technique. You will never get away with what you did to me, Supernova, Tadara shouted. Shit, Naruto, you really did a number on him, Mei said. It was easy, Naruto replied. Easy, I'll show you, Tadara replied, as he chewed it a couple more times, before swallowing it whole, confusing them for a moment. Naruto activates his Zanpakugan, could see his opponent was focusing all his chakra to one single spot inside his stomach. As the others watch in fear, as Tadara inflates like a balloon, and everyone knows what happens when you pump too much air inside a balloon. Suicide bombing, as the chakra became too unstable, the man exploded. Shit, Naruto shouted, they were too close, and no one would be able to get away from the blast in time. I never used this on anything this big or powerful before, but I have to try or we will all die, as Naruto activates his Zanpakugan. A Taransu photo, as a portal appeared in front of them, and absorbed the blast. Unknown base Red Dawn, the one that Itachi took BC Naruto. In the upper level of the base, Haiden was in the base taking a shit, when the explosion sent him flying off the toilet, and blew him up. What the hell in Jashin's name was that, Haiden shouted, as he put himself back together. With Naruto. Wow, that was close, Yuga said. If it wasn't for Rudo-kan jutsu we would have died, Shizune said. Yeah, thank you, Naruto-kan, Kurumu said, as she kissed him followed by the rest of the women. Wow, such power, and I thought Itachi was a monster. This kid is on a level my himself, Chio. Now what should we do about Temari? Mei asked. I can save her, Chio replied. How can you save her? Yuga asked. There's one jutsu I can still use, Chio replied, as she put her hands on Temari. You don't mean one's own life reincarnation, Shizune shouted. I see you know of that jutsu, Chio replied. Of course, Tsunade told me all about, Shizune replied. Even I have heard of that jutsu, Mei said. What does the jutsu do? Yuga asked. This reincarnation technique was developed in Sunagakure by the Puppet Brigade. The user, giving their life force to the target, uses all their chakra as an intermediary. Shizune said. You can't do that, Yuga replied. Why not? I'm the reason all of this happened. I'm the one who sealed the old tale into her, Chio replied, which shocked everybody. So it's my duty to give her back her life, as she started the jutsu, and her hand glowed blue. The village shinobis are coming, Naruto said, and in a few minutes they were there. When Temari woke up, the entire sand ninja that came were extremely happy. What happened? Temari asked, as Guerrerina and Kankuro tackled and started to cry. Temari-chan, I'm glad you are alright, Guerrerina shouted. Thank you, Naruto, Kankuro shouted. Naruto-kun is here. Temari asked, as her family led her up. I'm here, Tem-chan, Naruto replied. You came to save me, Temari said with tears in her eyes. Of course Naruto did get to finish, as Temari tackled and started to kiss him, as the men glared at Naruto for kissing their Kazuki-age, and the women glared at Temari for kissing their Naruto. Cough, cough, the shinobis cough. Oh, Temari said, as she releases Naruto's lip and blushes. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Temari said. You're welcome, Tem-chan, Naruto replied. Chio-sama, Guerrerina shouted, as she ran over to the old woman who was on the ground. She's dead, Mei said. She forbade one's own life reincarnation to bring Temari-chan back to life, Shizune said, as everybody who knew about them started to cry. Temari walks over to the down Chio, and uses her hand to close Chio's eyes. Thank you, Chio-sama, for saving my life, Temari said, as tears flow from her eyes. Later. Chio funeral. Chio's funeral was very big, as all of Suna was there to put her to rest, talk about the goods thing, and all things Chio had accomplished in her lifetime. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, the elders said, as they lowered her into the ground, as Temari watched on in the arms of Naruto. 2 days later, Suna was holding a festival to celebrate the safe return of their Kazuki and the shinobis who brought her back to them. Temari and Naruto for the day, and she loved it. They had to wear Hingeto get around, they went on rides, and ate cotton candy. Now they were passing the shooting range. Could you win me a prize for Naruto-kun? Temari asked. Sure, just pick the prize you want, Naruto replied. I want the big one, Temari said, pointing to the big teddy bear that had on a supernova outfit and Naruto hairstyle. Step up and win a prize by showing off your shooting skills, the man shouted. How do you win the big bear? Naruto asked. You have to be blindfolded while doing a one-hand stand, the man replied with a smirk on his face. I'm glad I just came up with that one, because this guy looks loaded, and by the look on his girlfriend's face, she won't let him stop until he won her prize. Naruto followed the man's instructions, and shot the target on his first try. It almost gave the man a heart attack. Thank you, Naruto-kun, for winning me a prize, Temari said, as she kissed him. Then they started to make out when a voice interrupted them. Could you please help, Naruto? Kankuro shouted. Dude, I'm on a date, Naruto replied. Please, Naruto, the guy who was supposed to be helping me should have been here an hour ago, and he's not here. You are my only hope, Kankuro begged, as he started kissing Naruto and Temari's feet. You sicken me, Temari replied, then turned to Naruto. Help this fool, before I crush him with my sand. Are you sure, Naruto asked. Yes, I am, Temari. Okay, so what can I do to help you? Naruto asked. I want you to manage the kissing booth, Kankuro said, as he drags Naruto away. What? Temari shouted, as she chased after them. Kissing booth. For the past 30 minutes Naruto has been kissing some of the most beautiful women in Suna, and the line was still growing, as Temari beat the crap out of Kankuro for every woman that Naruto kissed. Missouri, I told you we should have run faster, Yukata shouted in the middle of the line. Sorry, I did know that the civilians could run that fast, Missouri replied. If I don't give to kiss Naruto-kun, then I'm blaming you, Yukata said. 30 minutes later, Yukata and Missouri were second in line to kiss Naruto when. Sorry ladies, but I have to go now, Naruto said before he grabs Temari and vanishes. No, Yukata shouted. Kukuku, I knew my plan would work if I wanted to kiss all the hot girls. Now that Naruto has Kankuro, as he walks over to the booth and leans on the counter. Don't you fear, the love doctor is here with his eyes closed waiting for the kiss. I'm coming, Sonny. I just have to take out my dentures first, the woman replied. What the hell, Kankuro shouted, as he opened his eyes and saw a woman that was older than Chio in front of him, as she grabbed his face and dragged him in her lips. With Naruto and Temari. No was heard throughout the festival. Did you hear something? Temari asked. Nope, must have been the wind, Naruto replied, as they continued to walk when they heard voices. I knew I shouldn't have listened to you, Yukata shouted. For the last time, I'm sorry, Missouri replied. That sounds like what my students Yukata and Missouri, Temari said, as they continued to watch them. I should be on cloud 9 about now or be his girlfriend, Yukata said. I know, the first part is true, but the second part will only happen in your dreams, Missouri replied. Could they go and fulfill their fantasy, Naruto-kun? Temari asked. Sure, why not, Naruto replied, as he vanished. Damn, I just wanted one kiss. Is it too much to ask for? They both shouted into the sky. No, it's not, Naruto replied, as he appeared in front of them. Naruto-kun, they said. Yep, that's me, Naruto replied, as he walked up to the shocked Yukata and kissed her on her lips. Oh my god, Naruto-kun, the supernova is kissing me, Yukata, as she wraps her hands then legs around him, as she deepens the kiss for a while until they break apart. Wow, the best kiss ever, Yukata said before she fainted, and Naruto lay her on the bench. What about me? Missouri asked, as Naruto captured her lips with his, as she wrapped her hands around his neck to deepen the kiss, then they broke apart. Well, Missouri said before she fainted too, and Naruto caught her, and laid her on the bench beside her friend, as Temari arrived. Why did they tell me to kiss them? Naruto asked, as he created 2 shadows to watch over them, as they slept. They have been lacking confidence lately, so I wanted to give them some, Temari replied. Later, Kazuki's mansion, Temari room. Thank you for giving me the best day ever, Temari said, as she took off her blouse and skirt. No, I'll give you the best day ever, as she started kissing Naruto, then pushes him on the bed, and straddle him, and deepen the kiss, as Naruto ran his hands all over her body. Crash. Temari, please hide me, Kankuro shouted, as he burst through the door, and hid under the bed. The team, I'm into the middle of something, Temari shouted, as her sand caught Kankuro, and threw him through the window, and caused a loud crash that woke up the entire house. Are you alright, Kazuki-sama? Anbu shouted, as they burst into the Kazuki's room. Get out, Temari shouted. The next day. You're all leaving, already? Kankuro asked. He looked at Team Nova. Yes, we have to, replied. Sasori provided us with some information on Orochimaru that Tsunade-sama would want to know about right away. Yuga said. Then was Naruto Uzumaki. Kankuro asked, as they looked around for Naruto. He was just right here, Mei replied. Where's my sister? Guerrera asked. I saw them heading for the Kazukage mansion. Kuruma replied. We have to go there, then Kankuro replies when Guerrera stops him. If you interrupt them, Tamari will bury you alive, Guerrera said, as Kankuro stopped. You remember what happened the last time you interrupted them? Unknown cavern, unknown location. So Tadara, what happened to you, and where is Sasori? Asked the man from behind his desk. He didn't make leader-sama. Tadara replied, as he told the leader what happened. Shit, the Kyuubi is strong. I don't know if I can beat him. Pain I see. Give yourself fix, then you will be introduced to your new partner. Hi leader-sama, Tadara replied, as he left. Then a woman with blue hair and a white flower in her hair appeared next to the leader. Conan, said Pain, do you know where Kakuzu and Hayden are? Yes, they're tracking Nipi. So far they haven't found her, but they said that once they do they will report. Conan responded. Good, and Zetsu? Pain asked. He is looking for the Sanbi. Conan replied. And where is Toby then? Pain asked. Toby is around the base, doing who knows what. Conan replied, I don't trust him. Whatever, Pain replied, as he glared at her. Do you know where Itachi and Kei are? From what I know, they are in the grass country somewhere trying to think of a way to capture the Kyuubi. Conan replied. Excellent, said the leader. When Tadara returns, I want you to introduce him to his new partner. Yes, leader, said Conan. She bowed and left. Konoha. Tsunade office. And that what happened, Mei said. I see I have to inform the council about this before we take action. Tsunade replied, then she turned to Naruto. What the hell is in this scroll you gave me? Just open it, Naruto replied, as Tsunade opened the scroll. Proof. Tsunade and the girls screamed, as the dead Kakashi body came out. What the hell, Naruto? Udo-kan, did he attack you again? Shizune asked. Oh my god, Naruto, what have you done? A shocked Tsunade asked. The team attacked me when I was fighting Tadara. He was supposed to be heading back to Konoha, Naruto replied. I know, but you have all people know that the civilian council and the elders favor Kakashi more than you, Tsunade replied. You need to put them in their places. The civilian council have no say in shinobi business, and the elder or you advisor, you are the leader, not them, Naruto replied. You're right, but shit, Naruto, couldn't you have just beat the crap out of him? Tsunade replied with a chuckle. Nope, he got on my last nerves, Naruto replied. Okay, so what happened to his Sharingan? Tsunade asked. I have it stored in a safe place, Naruto replied. Why didn't you destroy it? Tsunade asked. I don't. I just have a feeling that it will come in handy one day. Naruto replied, as he walked over to Tsunade and kissed her on her lips. Good night, Tsu-chan, as he walked out. Maybe for you, I have lots of paperwork thanks to you, Tsunade muttered. I'll come back in a few hours to help you, Naruto said, as Tsunade blushed. The next day. The Uzumaki mansion. Why did you call us here, Naruto-kun? Yoshino asked. I want to know also, Makoto said. And who is she? Hitomi asked, as they saw Naruto with a female figure beside him. You all found out when Kushina-chan and Tsu-chan arrived, Naruto replied. Damn, Naruto, I was taking my beauty nap after you kept me up all night long, Tsunade said with a blush on her face. You weren't complaining last night, Naruto replied. Cough the figure, as she pokes Naruto in his back. Oh, you can take it off now, Naruto said, as the figure took off the mask. Burn, Tsunade shouted, and was ready to attack her when Naruto stopped her. She might spy within the Sound Village, Naruto said. As Tsunade calmed down, she found a letter that Shikamaru wrote to Orochimaru while he was in the village. Can I read it? Yoshino asked with tears in her eyes. Sure, Gurin replied, as she gave Yoshino the letter. Dear Orochimaru, I have decided to accept your offer for power, so that I can kill Naruto Uzumaki that your apprentice Kabuto told he about. I told my best friend Sasuke about your offer, and he decided to abandon the village with me, but he wants to finish his training with Jiraiya-sama first, who will be taking him on a 2-year trip. I will be coming to you first, so send somebody for me. Sasuke, and I will be putting on a fake fight to fool the leaf shinobi if they are watching. Signed. Shikamaru Nar. Damn you, Shikamaru, I thought you were smarter than that, Yoshino said with tears in her eyes. She all hoped that somebody was controlling her son, but she found out it was all Shikamaru's idea. So the curse seal wasn't controlling you after all, Sasuke, Makoto said with tears in her eyes. I sorry you guys, it's all my fault, Naruto said. No, it not, Makoto, and Yoshino shouted. I have told Shikamaru over and over that I was the one that killed his father, but he won't believe me, Yoshino shouted, as she hugs Naruto. Danzo's the one to blame. Is there anything you can tell us about Orochimaru, Gurin? Tsunade asked. He plans to ambush Sasori when he goes to Tenchi Bridge, but Gurin replies, which shocks everybody. He knows about Sasori's spy. Naruto asked. Yes, he knew the minute spy was under Sasori's control, Gurin replied. So who is the spy? Kushina asked. It is Kabuto, Gurin replied. Is Sasuke and Shikamaru going to be there, Yoshino asked. Yes, they are going to be there, Gurin replied. No, you two can't go on the mission, Tsunade said before the two could ask. Why can't we go on the mission, Makoto and Yoshino shouted. You two are too emotional when it comes to your sons. They will not hesitate to kill you because you are in a relationship with Naruto, but you guys will, Tsunade replied, as Makoto and Yoshino opened their mouths to say something. She was right, I don't know if I would have the heart to kill my child, Hitomi said, as Makoto and Yoshino closed their mouths and turned to Naruto. I want you to go on the mission and do what you feel is right, Yoshino said. But what if I kill them? Naruto asked. Then we will understand, Makoto replied when somebody appeared. What are you doing here, Im-chan? Naruto asked. It's about the civilian council, and the elders, Aim replied. What about them? Tsunade asked. My dad told me they are up to something, Aim replied. Is it about what happened to Kakashi? Naruto asked. Yes, they want to banish you, Aim replied. They can't do that, Hitomi shouted. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic. Link is in the description. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.